Hi, this is Daryl Meyer from Keller, Texas. Today is Thursday, I nearly forgot, December 31st, 2009. It's the last day of the year. In fact, the last day of the decade. Let's look back and see what kind of things happened in 2009, and let's look forward to see what we think might happen in 2010. I think one of the big things that happened in 2009 was the fact that the world community got together. They came up with a one world currency. Russian President Medvedev announced at the G8 summit in Italy this year that they have a one world currency. It's called the United Future World Currency. It's made in Belgium. It says unity in diversity on this coin, and it's interesting that they come up with that, because how do you regulate a one world currency? Well, the only way to do so is with a one world government. And we know that was what their really secret ambition, well, not so secret anymore, for this Copenhagen climate conference they recently had, which is another thing that I think is a Bible prophecy. One world government. The president of the EU, Rompuy, however you say his name, he said 2009 will go down in history as the first year of a united one world government. So, and that's in the Bible, one world government. Daniel 7 verse 23 talks about that. He gave me this explanation: the fourth beast is a fourth kingdom that will appear on the earth. It will be different from all the other kingdoms and will devour the whole earth, trampling it down and crushing it. Sounds like a one world government to me. Anyway, it's also spoken of in Revelation 13 verses 5 through 8, but this is actually when the Antichrist will be basically the leader of the world. It says the beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise his authority for 42 months, 3.5 years. Isn't it funny how Satan likes to imitate Christ? I mean, that was basically the length of Christ's time on the earth when he was doing his greatest evangelizing on the earth and preaching his message. Anyway, continuing in Revelation 13:6, he opened his mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. He was given power to make war against the saints, that's us, and to conquer them. Doesn't sound like much fun there. And he was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. Sounds like he's pretty much in charge of everybody. All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written in the book of life belonging to the Lamb that was slain from the creation of the world. Okay, so there is a one world government prophesied in the Bible, and we're looking it dead in the face right now. I hate to think of what's in front of us. It can get a little scary. And, I have to admit, sometimes when I think of what we're facing, it gets a little daunting. It gets to the point to where it's like, God, help us, please. But you know what? God has always prevailed. Even though people think he is not in control, that the devil's in control of the earth, guess what? God is in ultimate control. I think back to Job. In Job, God and Satan are having a conversation. God says, so, what do you think of my servant Job? The devil says, you've given him all this money, you've given him a great family, he's got wealth beyond belief, of course he worships you. God said, okay, do what you will, but spare his life. So Satan, through the course of events, ended up taking his money, taking his health, taking his family, and yet Job still praised God. While Job's wife and his friends were going, dude, things aren't going so well for you, maybe you should just curse God and die. Job said, no, I will praise my God. And he remained faithful to the end. He is a little bit of giving us an example of what we're going to have to do in the end times. Things are going to get ugly. We might lose our health, our family, our money. We might lose everything but our very lives, in fact. The Bible sounds pretty clear. A lot of us will even lose our lives. Should we fear that? Well, no, because guess what? Nobody on this earth is getting out of this thing called life alive. We all face death or the return of Christ, whichever comes first. For some reason, all my life, I have believed I would see Christ return before I actually died here. So, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? So, what kind of things do you think we might see in 2010? I think one of the biggest prophecies we might see in 2010 will be the rebuilding of the third Jewish temple. There's a lot of people that think construction will begin March 16th because of a prophecy regarding one of Jerusalem's other temples. It said the third time this specific temple is rebuilt, then will be the building of the third Jewish temple on the Temple Mount. And they are dedicating this temple in Jerusalem on March 15th for the third time. So it's been destroyed twice, rebuilt recently, and they're having the dedication on March 15th. Many people think, hey, March 16th, we're starting construction on the Temple Mount. Remains to be seen. Something else that could possibly happen in the coming year is the confirmation of the covenant, spoken of in Daniel 9:27. Let's see, Daniel 9:27. See if I can read that for you real quick. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7, and this will be the Antichrist that does this. In the middle of the sevens, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. On a wing of the temple, he will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. Okay, well, the Jewish people, when the temple is built, they will resume daily sacrifice. In fact, in April of this year, they had a sacrifice on the Temple Mount, and they will do that daily. I'm sure PETA will love that. And in the middle of this 7-year period, the Antichrist will put an end to sacrifice, and he'll set himself up on a wing of the temple and say, I'm in charge here, and basically I'm God, worship me. That probably won't happen. The revealing of the Antichrist clearly won't happen until the middle of this 7-year period, so the confirmation of the covenant has to come first. The sixth trumpet war spoken of in Revelation 9:13 through 16, that emanated from the Euphrates River area, and we've had troops there fighting for over 6 years now, and it's growing. This week it has grown to Yemen. We now have troops going to Yemen to take out insurgents there. We're in Afghanistan. There's troops in Pakistan searching for Osama bin Laden still, and trying to help keep Pakistan's nuclear arsenal safe from the Taliban. I hate to say it, but I think in 2010 we're probably going to see this war spread to Iran. Clearly they are pursuing nuclear weapons, and I don't think the world will put up with a nuclear Iran, given their leaders' intentions of wanting to bring mass destruction upon the world to usher in his 12th Imam or Mahdi. Okay, let's look at some news stories today. Iran opposition threatened with trials. We got to pray for the people in Iran. They are having some serious uprisings against their government. They want to have a government they can trust and one that will lead them responsibly. Sorry, but I can relate to that. I very much feel their pain. Yes, I do. There's a story today in, where is this from? Arutz Sheva. Check this out. Iranian mullah, in a television appearance, shocking in its candidness, a leading Iranian Ayatollah says that it would be far better for the Islamic Republic to simply murder those protesting against the regime rather than arrest and beat them. Wow. Oh, let's just kill them. Who wants to put up with them? Let's just kill them. Meanwhile, an unknown group claiming to represent Iranian soldiers threatens to take up arms against the regime. You got soldiers wanting to go against their own leader. Whew. Wow. That's heavy. Let's see what else we got. Lebanese military fired on Israeli jets today. Could cause some problems. There's a lot going on, people. So much going on. We're going to see a lot of amazing developments in the coming year. But you know what? Nothing to fear. Let me go to John 17. Let's see if I can find John 17. Again, I'm running out of time. Where does 10 minutes go? Let me say. John 17:15. This is Jesus talking. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. And in 20 it says, my prayer is not for them alone. I pray for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. Listen, God bless you. Happy New Year. Be safe. And I look forward to seeing you next year.